What's up, guys? GameNut here, and welcome back to my NFL regular season predictions. Week number 5 is about to kick off, boys. I can't believe we're about to go into the second quarter of the NFL season already, man. Like, it's going by so quickly. Like, 4 weeks already done. Before we know it, it's going to be the playoffs and then the Super Bowl. Like, I wish the league would slow down because, football's going to be over before we know it, man. But, of course, before we take a look at this week's games, let's, of course, go ahead and review last week, week number 4, and see how well we did. And as you guys can see, man, oh, it was pitiful. 7-8, 15 games last week because of our first 2 teams having a bye this year, and I went right under the 50% mark, man. I did terrible. By far our worst week of the season so far. Like, I actually thought last week was going to be a pretty good week for picks for me, and clearly I was wrong, man. Just quite a few games definitely didn't go the way that I expected. I mean, the undefeated Packers getting their first loss of the season at home in prime time, I didn't see that happening. I mean, we've got teams like, I don't know, the Lions actually put up a pretty good fight against the Chiefs, but I really didn't think that the Redskins were that bad of a team, but apparently they are. I gave them a little bit of hope last week, but I'm done doing that. My Ravens defense, absolutely terrible. I can't believe they let up 40 points to the Browns. The Buccaneers, how did they put up 55 points against the Rams? The Bears defense, I don't know why I doubted them at home. It was a crazy week last week, man, and I definitely thought I should have did better, but obviously you guys can see it. We did pretty bad, 7-8, but the good thing on top of that is Madden 20 did the exact same record as us. They went 7-8 as well, which is kind of funny. So, you know, that now brings our overall records on the season. Me, I'm sitting at 39, 23, and 1. Madden 20 is 5 games behind us at 34, 28, and 1. All right, so that now leads us into our week 5 games, kicking things off with Thursday Night Football. Of course, we had the LA Rams 3-1 going to take on their division rival, the Seattle Seahawks, also sitting at 3-1. You guys are going to see my tweet on screen now. And finally, man, I broke the streak. It's about time. I finally got another Thursday night game correctly, man. It came down to the wire. That was definitely the best Thursday night game all year. Probably there won't be a better one that tops that. That was a crazy good game, man. I really enjoyed watching that one, and I couldn't believe it. I mean, the Rams technically should have won because Greg Zuerlein, their kicker, failed right there at the end, man. I couldn't believe when he missed that kick, but man, it was an absolutely insane game. It was really good to watch, and like I said, man, finally broke the streak. I'm starting things off with a win, getting Thursday night guessed correctly by picking the Seahawks. So before we head into our Sunday games, I also do just want to put that little side note in. We have 2 more teams on a bye week this week. We had the Detroit Lions and the poor Miami Dolphins. I don't think the bye week's going to help those guys out too much. But first game up on a Sunday, we have 2-2 teams. You know, they both started off 0-2 to start off the year, and look where they're sitting at now. The Jacksonville Jaguars going to take on the Carolina Panthers. As for this game, I think I'm going to have to go with the home team, man. I know the Jaguars have been looking pretty decent, you know, with Gardner Minshew coming in, carrying this team, you know, bringing them to back-to-back victories and whatnot. But Carolina Panthers, same thing. Cam Newton being out, they got this guy Kyle Allen who came in, and back-to-back wins for him as well. And nobody's really talking about him, and it's kind of weird. I don't understand why everybody's got all this hype around Gardner Minshew. I guess it's just because, I don't know, maybe the way he looks, maybe it's the mustache that he's got, or maybe it's because he already played in a primetime game. I don't know what the case is, but everybody's putting so much hype around this rookie guy, and I don't know if things are going to keep up for him. But for this week, I think I'm just going to have to roll with the home team, man. I think the Panthers are starting to find their groove a little bit. I also do think that the Jaguars are as well. I think it could turn out to be a pretty good game and go either way, but I'm thinking end result, I just got to roll with the home team here and pick the Carolina Panthers. Second game up, we have the New England Patriots currently sitting at 4-0, going to take on the Washington Redskins. They are 0-4. I never realized this until now. Like, why do the Patriots have, like, the easiest schedule in the world? They have, like, the best team ever created every single year, and they always have an easy-ass schedule, man. Like, I don't get it. Why? It's just not fair. Obviously, Patriots are winning this game. Literally, if they somehow win, I'll give my PlayStation. Okay, let me calm down. I can't be doing that. There's no way the Patriots lose this game, man. I mean, they're probably going to go in, put up 50 points. They're going to absolutely embarrass the Redskins. It's going to be bad. Next game up, we have the Buffalo Bills. They are 3-1, definitely having a pretty good start to their season. They're going to take on the Tennessee Titans, who are currently sitting at 2-2. I think this game's definitely going to be a pretty good one. I think it's going to be a close game. I feel like it's also going to be very low scoring because definitely both of these teams have a better defense, I would say, as opposed to what their offenses are. But it's gonna be close, man. Like, this is I feel like this is another game that could really go any way, and I'm not really 100% sure on who I want to pick here. But if I had to lean towards a team, I think I'm going to say the Titans pick up their 3rd win of the season here. I say they even the record. After this week, both of them will be 3-2. I don't know, man. I mean, I know that Buffalo defense is looking pretty good, but I just just don't think the offense can really get it done. I mean, they just don't have much working with. I mean, Josh Allen, you know, I'd say he's okay. He's not a bust yet. I mean, like, he's a semi-decent quarterback. I don't want to judge him too much yet, but he doesn't really have any weapons on his offense if you come to think about it. And I don't know, the Titans definitely have more weapons on their offense, and it's a home game for them. So I think I'm just going to have to roll with Tennessee getting the win here. Next up, we of course now have my game, my Baltimore Ravens, now sitting at a poor 2-2. We should be 3-1, man. I'm so pissed about that. We shouldn't have lost last week. They were so bad. Our defense definitely sucks ass this year. But we are going to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers, our rival. They are currently sitting at 1-3. I'm also a little salty that for some reason this season they decided not to match us up any primetime games with the Pittsburgh Steelers. There's always at least one of those every single season, so it's definitely going to be kind of weird to not have one of those this year against the Steelers. But of course, I'm picking my own team to win this game, man. Under no circumstance should we lose this game. If we do, I'm going to cry. I'm going to start losing faith for this season because the Steelers, they're just not a good team, man. I mean, they got injuries. They got their young Mason Rudolph, and I don't think that they can get it done. They're not a good team. Our team is definitely better than what their team is, and there's no way we should be able to lose this game. If we do, like I said, I'm going to be so upset. Oh boy, I wonder which one of these teams is going to pick up their first win of the season here, man. We got the 0-3-1 Arizona Cardinals going to take on the 0-4 Cincinnati Bengals. Does Kyler Murray finally get his first win of his career, or do the Bengals pick up their first win of the season here, man? This is definitely going to be a tough one. I feel like whatever team I pick, the opposite's going to happen, man, but I'm going to roll with Cincy. I'm going to say they pick up their first win of the season here, man. I don't see them dropping to 0-5. That just wouldn't make sense. But I definitely can see Kyler Murray continuing to struggle and going 0-4-1. I said it since the start of the season, man, before he was even drafted, that the kid was going to be a bust. I mean, obviously, he's okay at football. He can still make plays. And obviously, you can't really blame all of these losses on him. But he's not going to be like a franchise QB. I'm sorry. In a couple years, Kyler Murray, he's not going to be in the NFL anymore. I'm just saying it flat out right now. But I do think I'm going to say the Cincinnati Bengals get it done. Obviously, Patrick Peterson still being out. Also, John Ross now out. It's a couple of injuries on both sides of the ball, but the Bengals, I feel like at home, they don't want to drop to 0-5, and they're going against, another winless team here. I definitely don't see them putting up another goose egg here, man. So I'm going to say that the Bengals pick up their first win here. Next game up, we have the 1-3 Atlanta Falcons going to take on the 2-2 Houston Texans. The Texans, man, I feel like have been struggling a bit recently. I definitely didn't see them losing that game last week, and didn't they struggle a little bit? Barely got the win like either 2 or 3 weeks ago against the Jaguars. I mean, they definitely haven't been looking like that team week 1 against the Saints, as well as the Atlanta Falcons, man. I mean, they are struggling as well, sitting now at 1-3. And I feel like I'm going to go with the upset alert this week, boys. I'm going with the Atlanta Falcons. Call me crazy here, but this is my upset of the week, boys. I don't know. It's just going to be hard to imagine the Falcons just falling out of contention this early in the season, because obviously their team, they're still pretty good. I mean, they've got great pieces. Their offense is still definitely one of the higher powered offenses in the league. Their defense, on the other hand, not so much. But the Texans, I don't know. I feel like they're just going to fold over. I don't know. I feel like the Falcons will get the upset this week. The Texans definitely seem to be the favorite, and I'm just going out on a limb here, man. I'm trying to pick wild picks of the week, because obviously last week it didn't work out too well for me, only going 7-8. So I think I'm going to go with the Falcons this week. Oh, man, I feel like I'm about to regret this pick. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they are sitting at 2-2. What a performance they put up against last week against the Rams, man. They are going to take on the New Orleans Saints. They are sitting at 3-1. And, man, they did work last week against the Cowboys. Got themselves that victory. Now, as for who I think is going to win this game, obviously it's going to be a pretty close game because it's a divisional matchup. And these guys, they always seem to play each other tough. Even when the Buccaneers are one of the worst teams in the league and the Saints are one of the best, it's always a close matchup. I'm telling you guys, division matchup, they're just played differently. And you guys heard me say it at the start. I think I'm going with the Buccaneers. I don't know if that's gonna kill me or what, but I feel like I'm shooting myself in the foot here, and I should just say the Saints, but I'm going with the Buccaneers. I don't know, man. I feel like Bruce Arians, he's obviously a really good coach, and I feel like he knows what he's doing. And honestly, Teddy Bridgewater, he is a terrible quarterback. He is very, very bad. Watching him last week in its entirety, getting to see the Saints, watch a full game of the Saints is basically what I'm saying. Last week against the Cowboys, Teddy Bridgewater does not know what he's doing. He looks like a chicken with his head cut off running around back there. He just does not know how to make decisions. He's not a good quarterback, man. Now, As for the Saints defense, however, obviously they stepped up big time last week, and they're definitely the stronger point of this team right now with Drew Brees being out. And the Buccaneers, I mean, they seem to be doing okay with Jameis Winston. I mean, that offense, you know, is working. Obviously, I still think that Saints defense is going to put work in against them. But the Bucs defense on top of it as well, I mean, they haven't been doing too bad either. I mean, that guy Shaq Barrett got 9 sacks in 4 games so far. I mean, that's a crazy stat line to have so far at the start of the season, man. But anyways, this is another wild pick, man. I can't believe I'm saying it, but I do think I'm going to pick the Buccaneers to win this game. I hope this one doesn't bite me. This should definitely be a pretty interesting game as well. I like the matchups we have for week 5 so far, but we've got 2 more 2-2 teams. The Minnesota Vikings going to take on the New York Giants. Danny Dimes, you know, bringing the Giant season back around, getting back-to-back wins. And then the Minnesota Vikings, man, trash can Kirk Cousins. I've always said that this guy is a trash can. Their offense is looking really, really bad, man, of course, outside of Dalvin Cook. Now, as for I think who's going to win this game, however, I'm going to say the Vikings. I'm going to say Danny Dimes gets his first loss of his career here. I don't know. I just feel like, you know, Dalvin Cook is going to be able to carry this offense regardless of how well the passing game goes for the Vikings. Plus, on top of it, Minnesota still has a really solid defense, and without Saquon Barkley, it's going to be hard to see, you know, Daniel Jones pull out a victory here. I don't know. If Saquon Barkley was starting, maybe this game would have gone a little bit differently. Possibly the Giants could have won it, but with the way that the matchup is, man, I think I'm going to have to roll with the Vikings getting their win here. Our first London matchup of the season, we have the Chicago Bears, who are 3-1. They will be taking on the Oakland Raiders. They are sitting at 2-2. Khalil Mack's first game against this old team that traded him away. He's probably going to have like 19 sacks. Okay, let me calm down. He's definitely going to have at least, what, like 2, 3, 4 sacks this game, somewhere around that. He's probably going to have an insane game. And I definitely got to go with Chicago, man. That defense is just, it's so freaking good, dude. Like, it's unbelievable. Like, I know I shouldn't have doubted them last week, man. I completely forgot about how good of a defense they were. But with the way that the Oakland Raiders are, man, I mean, I just don't think they have a powerful enough of an offense to be able to take on that Chicago Bears defense, man. So I definitely think, you know, even with Trubisky being out, actually on top of that, I kind of feel like that the Bears offense is also slightly better with Trubisky not being there, because that man is some buns. But anyways, I do think I'm going to be wrong with Chicago getting their 4th win of the season here. Next game up, we now have the New York Jets. They are sitting at 0-3, going to take on the 2-2 Philadelphia Eagles. I think I'm definitely going to roll with the Eagles for this game, man. The Jets, they're just not that great of a team. They definitely have injuries on top of it as well. I mean, well, Sam Darnold's out because of his illness and whatnot. I still believe. I'm not sure if he's, you know, back yet or not. Don't quote me on that. But I mean, you know, CJ Mosley still being out, like I said. It's also hilarious to me because I hate Le'Veon Bell. I hated him when he was a Steeler. He was a crybaby, you know, sitting out that whole season. He comes back, gets his deal, and he plays for a team that can't even win a game. I love seeing it happen. But anyways, I definitely think the Eagles are going to win this game, man. They're a better team than the Jets, you know, on top of all the missing pieces that New York has. I don't really see the Eagles falling a home game here to New York, who is currently winless. Man, it really sucks seeing my guy Joe Flacco having an awful start to his career in Denver. Sitting at 0-4 for the Broncos. They will be traveling to the LA Chargers. They are sitting at 2-2. Definitely got to be going with LA to get the win here, man. I don't see the Broncos being a better team and being able to pick up their first win of the season here. If there was ever a time to do it, last week was when they were going to pick up their first win of the season here, man. The Chargers, I don't see them falling here, going 2-3 to a divisional matchup here, especially to the team like the Broncos, who again are also winless, man. So Joe Flacco, I love you, my guy, but you're probably going 0-5 again this week. This is going to be a very good game as well. We have 2 3-1 teams. The Green Bay Packers are going to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Now, if you were to tell me that Davante Adams was playing in this game, I more than likely probably would have said that Green Bay wins this game. But because Davante Adams is out, man, that is huge for that Packers offense. And because of that, I'm going with the Cowboys. I mean, I don't really like the Cowboys. A lot of people don't like Dallas. They're just annoying, especially their fan base. But there's no denying that they still have a pretty solid team. I mean, obviously, you know, the offense is great with Ezekiel Elliott. Dak Prescott is definitely not an elite quarterback, but he gets it done, I guess. And the Dallas defense is still really good on top of it as well. And so is, you know, the Green Bay defense. But without Davante Adams, man, like I said, it's really hard to see the Packers coming out of this game with the win. So I'm going with Dallas getting the win here. And now for our Sunday night football game, we have the Indianapolis Colts, who are 2-2, going to take on the 4-0 Kansas City Chiefs. Man, I said this earlier on in the video, but the Detroit Lions, what a game they played last week against the Chiefs, man. They almost got it done. If they just could have changed those tiny little mistakes that they made, you know, the one being like that 99-yard fumble return for a touchdown, the Lions could have won that game last week, man. They almost should have, like I said, you know, if they didn't make those couple of mistakes. But for Sunday night football here, man, definitely the Chiefs are winning this game. They're still an insanely good team, and you know, the Colts being the away team without Andrew Luck. I mean, obviously this was a playoff game last year, and Andrew Luck got demolished by the Chiefs. Jacoby Brissett now being the quarterback traveling to Kansas City, there's no way he gets it done. So Kansas City, they're definitely going to be getting their 5th win of the season here. And last but not least, we now have Monday Night Football. The Cleveland Browns, who are sitting at 2-2, they are going to take on the undefeated San Francisco 49ers. They are currently sitting at 3-0. As for who I choose to win this game, however, man, I'm going to hate myself so much for saying this. I don't want to say this, but I definitely feel like the Browns are going to win this game. God, I hate myself for saying that. I hope the Niners win. Like, I really do. I'm definitely pulling for San Francisco, but I just got a feeling that the Cleveland Browns are going to get the win here, man. I don't see the Niners continuing their undefeated season, and I don't know, man. I feel like here they're going to fall to the Browns. I hope it doesn't happen, but something's telling me to pick the Browns, so I'm doing it. So there you guys have it. There are my predictions for week number 5, man. But of course, before I let you guys go, we got to go ahead and take a look at Madden 20's predictions and see who they will be choosing to win this week's game. So starting things off with Thursday Night Football, they did choose the Seahawks to win this game as well. So they will be starting off the week with a win just like us. Now, moving forward, first game, we have the Jaguars and the Panthers. They're also going to be siding with us here, picking the Panthers to win this game. Following that, Patriots and the Redskins. Obviously, they're smart enough to not pick the Redskins here. They will be choosing New England to get the win here. Bills and Titans, they're actually going against us for the first game of the week here, choosing the Bills to beat the Titans. Next up, my Ravens and the Steelers. They're actually going to be siding with my team. They're going to be picking Baltimore to win this. Following that, the Cardinals and the Bengals, they once again think that Kyler Murray is going to continue to lose on his season, man. Not getting his first win of his career just yet, going to be picking Cincinnati to win this game. As for the Falcons and the Texans, they will be choosing the Texans to win this game. Definitely makes sense, like I said earlier. It's definitely a wild pick of the week for me, picking the Falcons to win this game. Same thing for this game. I'm picking the Buccaneers on a limb here. Like, I don't think that they're probably going to win, but they also choose the Saints to win this game. Madden 20 does, so it's going to be interesting there. Next up, Vikings and the Giants. They also have the Giants to win this game, going against us once again. As for the Bears and the Raiders, they will be choosing that Chicago defense to pick up the win here. Jets and the Eagles, they actually have the Jets winning here. They have them getting their first win of the season. That's definitely interesting. Following that, we have the Broncos and the Chargers. They also have Denver getting their first win of the season here, man. What is going on? This is crazy to see. It'd be actually funny to see if both of those teams get their first wins. Packers and the Cowboys, however, they have the Cowboys absolutely demolishing the Packers in this game, going with Dallas. Following that, the last 2 games of the season, or of the week, I should say, they're also picking with us. They will be choosing the Chiefs to beat the Colts, and they will be choosing the Browns to beat the Niners on Monday Night Football. So there you guys have it, man. There are the predictions for week number 5. I hope all of you guys did enjoy it, man. Of course, enjoy some football because this season is going by so quickly and is going to be over before we know it. But once again, guys, I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, be sure to put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and I will catch you all in the next one. Take it easy, guys. Peace out.